If someone ghosts you, it's not that they're not interested in you. Hi, guys, welcome back to another episode of Jewels on the Couch. I am so excited that you are here and that you joined. Today, I wanted to talk about ghosting. It's a frequent thing that I'm seeing happen in my friends' lives and people's lives around me who are single and dating. Seems to be a very common theme, a common thing that people do. So I asked ChatGPT why people ghost. Number one of the reasons that people will ghost is because they don't like conflict. Okay, this makes sense. They don't like conflict. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to message you. They don't want to hurt your feelings potentially. They don't want to upset you. Because if you think about it, when you ghost someone, like let's say they're just not interested in you, they don't want to say that they're not interested in you because that would be starting conflict. Because you might not take it very well. You might get offended. I feel like for these people, they could be people pleasers. So if that's not pleasing to you, it's not pleasing to you for them to not be interested in you. They'd rather just avoid it altogether. And they are probably somebody who could be avoidant as well, just in relationships. And maybe that's their attachment style is avoidant. But they don't like conflict. They don't want to start an argument. They don't want to have a disagreement. They just want peace in their life. So they just think it's easier said than done to just ghost. The second one is they are not emotionally mature. Now, I agree a lot with this one. They're not mature because maturity, it involves being good at communication. So if someone's not a very mature person, they don't know how to communicate their feelings, they don't know how to talk like an adult, they don't know how to share how they're feeling with you, their emotions. They'd rather just ghost and have to talk to you about it. They also avoid accountability because they know the reason that they don't want to talk to you is because of them. Like they don't want to talk to you because they might not be interested in you, but instead of having that conversation, they'd rather just avoid it. And that is immature, especially if they're giving you signs on the date that you guys had a good date, you guys are getting along very well, they might have even been flirting with you, and maybe they did actually like you, but then they met someone else who they liked more, and instead of having a conversation with you about it, they just chose to ignore you and ghost you. Third one is they lost interest but didn't know how to say it. What this could be is their attraction changed. Maybe they realized, I don't know if she's really my type. I don't know if he's really my type. Maybe when they went on a date with you, you know how sometimes you'll go on a date with someone who might not be exactly what you're used to, not exactly what you're interested in, but you go anyways because you're like, okay, maybe if I go, maybe their personality will change, like change how I feel about their looks, or maybe I'll be more attracted to them if I go on the date with them and their personality is amazing, they're funny, they're all these things, but maybe even still going on the date, they realize, no, that's not enough for me to feel attracted towards them. So their attraction changes and they just ghost because they don't want to obviously say that to you. Obviously, they don't have to say that directly to you, but they'd rather just ghost than have an awkward conversation. They could have just went on a date with someone else. And I've had this happen in my life where like I'd go on a date with like someone and then I'd go on a date with someone else, and let's say I liked the second person better, but I would always usually say something. Of course, I would never say I went on a date with someone else and I like them better, because that's not something that anyone wants to hear. Another thing that they can realize in this type of situation is that they weren't ready for a relationship. They're not ready. And I feel like I've had this happen in my life where I might have been ready for a relationship. Maybe I wanted something, maybe I wanted a boyfriend, and then I go on a date with someone and they might be like, okay, I actually don't want a girlfriend. I only want to see people casually. And if you guys are both looking for different things, then they might end up ghosting you because they know what you want, right? So they're not going to say anything. They're just going to let it go. They're just going to ghost you. They're just not going to say anything because what you want is very different from what they want. Instead of having that adult conversation, hey, you want a boyfriend, you're looking for a relationship, that's not what I'm looking for. whatever. Instead of sending that text message, they just ghost. Fourth thing, they were never looking for something serious to begin with. Sometimes people just enjoy going on dates because they want validation, they want attention, they want to know that they can pull you, they want to know that they can get you. And then they go on a date with you and they're like, yeah, that girl likes me, haha. Like, who would have thought that girl actually is into me and likes me? I love the attention, I love the validation. They go on a date with you, and then after that, that's it. They're just like, that's all I needed. Done. Ghost, on to the next. Or they wanted to see you, they wanted to go on a date with you because maybe for that night or that day they wanted companionship, they wanted someone to talk to, they wanted someone to cuddle with, they wanted someone to be with, depending on how far you let that date go or whatever it may have been. Maybe they just wanted someone there, they just wanted a companion, and that's all they wanted. So then they end up ghosting you because they realize, that's all I wanted and now I don't need that anymore, so I'm just gonna ghost them. So they liked the excitement of it. They liked the excitement of seeing you. They liked the excitement of going on dates with you. They enjoyed the texting, the flirting, the calling. They enjoyed like almost pretending to be almost in a relationship, that attention, that back and forth. But then as soon as they realize, actually, like, they probably were very much into you, but they weren't looking to actually date you. They just wanted the attention that you were giving them, and then also just making them feel validated because like you're a good looking person, and they're like, okay, I'm texting and calling with this good looking person, I'm seeing them, but that's all I really wanted. And then they just ghost. It's also another thing, like once things start to feel too real, they back off and they get scared and they run away. Like, we're texting, we're calling, we're hanging out, we're going on dates. This is becoming too real. I need to let go. Another thing about this, like I said before, is most people that ghost, I feel like their attachment style is avoidant. They're definitely not like an anxious attachment. They are an avoidant because they'd rather avoid the conversation, avoid, having any type of real emotional dialogue, and they would just rather ghost and go the other way. 5, they got overwhelmed. Dating can bring up a lot of fears and insecurities for people. So sometimes when people start dating, they might date someone that they find attractive, is a great person, is a great match for them. Their personality is amazing. Everything's amazing. But then when they go on the date and they're like, whoa, this is too much. And it's because that person themselves is probably insecure and they don't even think that they deserve someone like you. So instead of telling you that, they just ghost because they're like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with this girl. Like, she has a great life. She's everything that I would want in a person, but she's almost like too good for me. So I'm just gonna ghost her because this is too much and I feel overwhelmed. Or maybe they even liked you a lot. Like, they go on the date with you, they like you a lot. They really, really like you, and they're scared of those emotions and those big feelings that they get overwhelmed and they just ghost you because it's too much. It's too much for them. And they might be at a time in their life where their job's most important. Maybe something's going on in their life that they'd rather not tell you about. So they're just like, I have other things going on. I can't have this be at the top of my mind, and it will be if I date you because I like you a lot, very attracted to you, but oh my God, I'm not ready and this is too much and blah, blah. Like, they have a lot going on that they just can't deal with it. Ghost, okay? Because they're so overwhelmed. And sometimes the person will ghost you because the connection, it's almost too good. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but maybe that's what they were going into dating you, for it to be casual, for it to be something like just a hookup or something, or just they just want to talk to you a little bit here and there. But then they go into it and they're like, oh no, I really like this person. Like, I could see myself almost marrying this person. I could see this person being the one for me. And then that becomes too much and they're not ready for that because maybe they're younger or they're just not ready to settle down yet. They still want to date. They still want to have their freedom. They still want to do whatever they want to do. So they're scared of that. They become so overwhelmed by that they run away and they ghost you. 6, they have an avoidant attachment style. I honestly feel like a lot of people that ghost do have an avoidant attachment style because, again, like I said, it's avoiding the communication. But people with avoidant tendencies, they often crave connection. They crave a deep connection, but they're too afraid of it. They become very uncomfortable once the emotional side of the relationship becomes too vulnerable and their feelings become too much for them to handle. It might be somebody that feels trapped by commitment or like they really want to hold on to their independence. that the thought of being in a relationship or having these feelings towards you, it scares them so much. They're like, I need to go. I need to let this person go. I need to ghost them because this is too much and I can't deal with this right now. And then they just ghost you. Even though they seem like they liked you, because they actually do like you. And that's the thing. They actually do really like you and they want a future with you. But at the same time, that's too much for them right now. They can't handle that. And they might not ever be. They might be this way for the rest of their lives, which sucks. And if you're like this, definitely go to therapy and get some help. But this is a very common thing that happens in dating with some people. They just cannot handle those feelings of liking someone so much because they get so scared that they just pull away. 7, they want to keep their options open. Again, they didn't feel like they needed to explain it to you because they just found someone else. They found another connection and they're like, okay, I don't need you anymore. Goodbye. I'm going to go on to this new connection and I don't need to explain it to you because you're not my girlfriend. You're not my boyfriend. So I don't need to tell you about it and I don't need to tell you anything. So they just ghost you. 8, they're going through personal issues. Not every situation where someone ghosts you is about you. And this is something that I feel like, honestly, a lot of people do is they might just start dating you. They really like you. Everything's going well, but something's going on in their family life. Something's going on in their work life. Maybe they even got fired. Something's going on with their friend. Maybe they have mental health issues, but they don't know you enough to talk to you about it. And they don't know you enough to like confide in you because you're not their girlfriend of a year or however long. You're someone new. So instead of being like, this is my mess and this is all the stuff I'm going through, they just ghost you because you're like, I can't give this my full attention right now, so I'm just going to go. I'm going to go work on the things I need to work on, and then I'm going to come back. Number 9 is they enjoy the chase more than actually being in something realistic and something long-term in a relationship. They enjoy the chase more than that. So some people just love the excitement of pursuing someone, texting someone, going after someone. But then once they get you, once they have you, it's boring now, and now they want something new. Maintaining a real relationship requires effort, and they're not looking to pour into something that involves them giving their effort. They don't want to put an effort into getting to know you. They don't want to put an effort to planning dates, taking you out, texting you, calling you, building a real relationship with you. They just want to flirt. They just want to chase. They just want that fun dopamine hit, that excitement, the texting, the calling, the dating. And then once that gets into a state of, okay, this person's always going to be there. Okay, we're actually building something. Now they want to know more about me. Now they want a real they want to have real vulnerable communication with me. Nope, too much. And then they run because all they wanted was the chase. And now that you are going to be there in their life, it's no longer fun for them. So they just ghost. So what I would like to point out is in ghosting situations, I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, they're just not into you. They just don't like you. They just were not into you. That's not true. Sometimes it is true. Sometimes someone doesn't like you. They're not that attracted to you, maybe. They don't really like you that much, and they ghost you. But I've seen situations happen in my friends' lives where they're talking to somebody, they're very attracted to them, seems like everything's going well, they really like each other, they're getting along, they're flirting, they're planning dates, everything seems to be going well, and then all of a sudden, that person ghosts. And you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, what is going on? I'm so confused. I don't understand. And in that situation, it can be a million different things, but it could be one of the things that I said. These people just aren't ready and they're scared of having emotions that big. They're scared of that feeling because you have to realize like so many people are guarded, and once they feel like someone can truly see them for who they are, someone really likes them, someone actually wants to give them their time of day and attention, it becomes too much because they're like, I'm not ready to open up. I'm not ready. And they get scared and they go back into their place that they're comfortable in, which is only letting people see a certain side of them that they don't want to open up to you. So then they ghost. So if there's someone right now that's dealing with somebody ghosting you, I just want to let you know that that doesn't mean that that person's not interested in you, doesn't like you, and all these other things, because you're probably sitting there and you're reading into every little thing like, oh, this person ghosted me, but we went on a date. It was amazing. It was wonderful. They texted me this and that. Like everything's lining up, but it doesn't make sense, like why they would ghost you. And I just want to let you know that this person is probably avoidant. They're dealing with something in their own life. They don't want to open up to someone yet. They're not used to that. They're scared. What you can do in this time frame of your life is just don't look into it. Don't reach out to them. Don't text them. Don't call them. Wait for them to come back to you, because you don't want to put that pressure on them. And also, you don't want to date someone if you're ready for a relationship. You don't want to date someone that can't be normal, that can't text and call and plan dates, and they get too scared and they run the other way. You want someone that's actually able to communicate with you when something is going on. The right person for you, the right person that you want in your life, isn't going to leave you confused, isn't going to leave you guessing. And one of my favorite things that I've ever seen, and I applied it to my dating life when I was single and dating, is the right person you will never feel confused about. You won't be texting and asking ChatGPT why this person's ignoring you. You won't be going online and watching videos and TikToks about it, because you're like, no, I know what this person, I know how this person feels about me because they say it, and the way of their actions, I know that this person really likes me, right? So you're not going to be nitpicking every little thing and rereading text messages and re-listening to voice messages and going over every little thing in your head from A to B. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to just be relaxed because you know where this person stands. So if you're like freaking out and you don't know what to do and this person's ghosting you and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? You do nothing and you move on from that person and you go find someone new, because the right person for you, again, is not going to make you feel confused, ever. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you could please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know right now, are you being ghosted? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's one of the reasons that I said? Have you been ghosted before? And have you ever ghosted someone? Again, thank you so much for joining. Until next time, I love you so much. Au revoir.